Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches, episode 102. Tonight we are reviewing Ghostbusters.
This movie pissed me the fuck off. So Ghostbusters is like probably legit in my top 5 movies of all time. Like, I love the Ghostbusters. I had to kind of decide that was beside the point, okay? So I had to be like, that's a movie, this is a different movie.
Right.
And I did okay for the first half hour, 45. I just have so many things. I just have so many feelings about this. Okay. Because there's just so much baggage with this movie, too, already. This movie wasn't funny.
It wasn't, I mean, that's not true. I thought it was a lot more fun than April did. And that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, because I think part of it is that I didn't have the baggage personally going in.
Sure.
Like, I saw Ghostbusters for whatever reason. I saw it when I was like 20. So, like,
sure.
You know, it didn't have that same resonance of like that deep impact.
Right.
I still thought it was a great movie, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But it wasn't like
this.
The thing that I think really happened, there was this really giant Stay Puft pink elephant. I don't know, like what, you know, in the room.
Yeah.
That was just like there was so much pressure.
For me, remaking Ghostbusters is like remaking The Princess Bride. It's like, no. There is no way to do it.
Right.
That will be not unsatisfactory.
Right.
For me.
Right.
For me personally. So I was genuinely hoping it would be fun and funny because Paul Feig is amazing. And I love Kristen Wiig. I love Melissa McCarthy. I love Kate McKinnon. I love Leslie Jones. But it just didn't click for me.
It didn't click.
This is what I'll say. The only thing I loved about this movie is Kate McKinnon.
Oh my god.
And Kate McKinnon's outfits.
Kate McKinnon stole this movie.
She was in the movie I wanted this movie to be. Weird and bizarre and seemed to be improvising and like had a character that seemed to fit in the Ghostbusters world, where it was like a smart, like weird scientist who's like offbeat and like kind of sarcastic.
I think everyone else got too cerebral about it. No one seemed to really be having fun except for Kate McKinnon.
What?
Everyone seemed like they had a stick up their ass. Or like, you know.
Just like, we have to, we can't put a toe out of place. Like, because Melissa McCarthy wasn't doing her really funny, rapid fire, improving, jokey joke.
Nope.
She was just like, I'm kind of nice. Like, what was her character? What was Kristen Wiig's character? Out of the city! Get out of the city! This isn't quite right. The reason I love Ghostbusters isn't because they're ghostbusting. That's not why I like the movie. I like the movie because all those characters are fun and hilarious and having fun with each other.
My biggest frustration was that they pretend like the original Ghostbusters never happened.
Yeah.
And that was mind-boggling to me.
It was so weird. I didn't understand how this was paying homage to Ghostbusters. Let's drag out all of the original cast members and put them in cameos that aren't funny.
None of them were funny.
They were just like, here we are.
I think I understand why you didn't like it so much.
Okay.
And I think what it is that somehow, in trying to be so respectful of the original, they actually missed the entire point of the original. I personally would have much preferred to see them have these characters have been inspired by the original Ghostbuster. Kate McKinnon was being Kate McKinnon.
She was,
right?
Yes.
In the way that I think you could say, like, the original cast was in many ways being themselves. Not that was
absolutely,
but, like, you know,
no, like Dan Aykroyd's obsessed with ghosts. He's obsessed with ghosts in real life. Like, he's a
I didn't know that.
He's a big old weirdo. In the best possible way. And Bill Murray clearly didn't want to be there and was like, look, just fund my private project so I can go star on The Razor's Edge because nobody's going to see it, but like it's going to be an art house piece. It happened. And Hal Ramis is just like the biggest nerd, adorable, like amazing, you want to give him a hug guy, you know?
Yeah.
And we're not really talking about Ernie Hudson, but nobody really does. And you know, I just...
Well, and so like I guess that's the question, was that is that who Melissa McCarthy was supposed to be? Was she supposed to be like, you want to give her a hug, she's so lovable and sweet?
I think she was supposed or was Kristen Wiig supposed to be Egon? There was a lot of, like, stupid looking CGI.
I mean, whatever.
But it just it was like a lot of it. Like, a lot. You know what I mean? We're gonna put balloon animals and like giant Dia de los Muertos piñatas and like a huge Mr. Sandman ghost, and we're gonna throw 50 crazy ghosts at you because that's what you really liked about the Ghostbusters, not the dialogue or the jokes or the characters. Or it was
Well, none of it made any sense either, because he was like, the whole plot is that like he was like, I have been bullied and everyone's mean to me because I'm really weird.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of other dead people that, you know, were bullied and they want to like hurt and kill everyone. But then, like, what's with the dragon? It didn't make any sense. And then none of the other ghosts made sense then to me either.
No,
because
like, were there already balloons that got possessed? But, like, were those weird balloons just, like, hanging out? And then the ghosts were like, oh, you know, it would be fun. Let's go in those balloons? Or were they balloon ghosts? Did they, like, are they saying that balloons have souls? There was so many, like, sophomoric, oh, hey, Kristen Wiig, like, we finally recorded some, like, spooky ghost sounds. They don't use that language, but they say something.
Right.
And they're like, come listen to it. And they hit play, it was, like a 2-inch tape. And then, you know, they fart.
It's like, yeah.
And then she's like, oh, you guys, that was a funny joke. You tricked me. You thought it was a ghost, but it was a fart. Really? Like, that's what we're doing? At
a certain point, I just was like, no.
Honestly, me too, because I was like seething.
Right.
I was just like, this is stupid. Like, why does Slimer need a girlfriend with a 50s haircut? Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
What was wrong with Chris Hemsworth? Was he brain damaged?
Don't listen.
I was.
He covered his eyes.
I hated his
Hated. And you know what? Another thing that pissed me off was the movie thought he was hilarious.
Chris Hemsworth is a huge comedic talent.
When I watch this movie, I go, I just want more Kevin.
No,
he literally ruined the movie for me. Like,
I'm so glad you said that because I was like, what's happening?
I hated him. I hated every time he came on screen.
Right?
And honestly, that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Because this is also maybe the prettiest that I've seen him.
He looked very pretty.
And yet somehow he was so completely god-awful that I was like, get the fuck off the screen, Chris Hemsworth. I don't want to see you. You know what I wish would have actually happened? That he had not been like the stupid, weird receptionist. I wish that he was like an actual love interest.
Yeah. Oh, you mean because like in the first one that there's like an actual like romance going on that you like kind of care about? Because like they're real people and they're characters?
In general, if I really were to look back at it, it's a hot mess on several levels. The plot is pretty awful.
There was no conflict. It was like, oh, we've got these bigger, badder ghosts. Well, Kate McKinnon made all this shit. We didn't see it happen. We didn't see them struggle. We didn't see a montage of her making it. We didn't see them brainstorming and working together. They're just here. What was anyone else doing? Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy were like, oh my god, science words, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We, like, believe in ghosts, blah, blah, blah. That was it.
Yep.
What else did they do?
Nothing.
Leslie Jones was like, oh, that building was haunted. I know about New York. That is it.
Yeah.
That was all they did.
Yeah.
And Kate
McKinnon's like, I'm going to pump out a bunch of guns.
I made this fucking arsenal of different proton packs, and I did this, and I redid the car, and da-da-da-da, and it was just like, what didn't you do?
Yeah.
She was carrying all of them on her back.
Literally
in so
many ways, you guys.
Like,
in so many ways. I wanted it to be more about them.
Yeah.
And by the way, there are like these ghosts that are really causing a problem now, and it's getting worse and worse. What's going on?
That's the original.
I know.
There was so many moments of just dud clunkers that I was like, what is happening, Paul Feig?
Yeah.
Cut it! Cut the fucking Ozzy Osbourne cameo! What the fuck is going on in this movie? I'm really not trying to be dismissive, but it in all honesty, at times felt like a scary movie. Where you're like, this is wacky and over the top and loud. So then at the end, I don't know if this is because they're women or just because this movie's dumb, the big bad ghost is like, oh, I'm not gonna go into the vortex, so they fire their proton packs at his genitalia.
Oh, right.
Not genitalia, he's a ghost. And it was hilarious.
Like, the part that I thought was just the worst, dumbest
When Kristen
visual.
Wiig is flying through the vortex, like,
Oh my god.
there was no sense of reality.
Oh no.
That's, I think, too.
Yeah.
It was like, in Ghostbusters, in the original, I mean, I'm sorry to keep comparing them, but in
Well,
the original, you feel like this could be real. You feel like this is really New York. This is really real people. They're really scared of the situation. It was not grounded in anything.
No.
I feel like I need to talk more about Kate McKinnon's outfits.
Okay.
So she is fabulous in almost every way. She is wearing it's like a bit of Kate Hepburn, a bit of Diane Keaton. She's got like Rosie the Riveter happening with her hair.
Round.
She's like a scarf away from looking homeless. And I loved it.
Now, I mean, the more that I look back
The more
at
you look-
it, the
I mean-
more it really was a mess.
It was like a big, dumb summer movie, which is not what I want Ghostbusters to be.
It just wasn't very fresh.
It wasn't very it's not my kind of movie. It's not my kind of humor. It's not my
No.
kind of movie. And unfortunately, it involved a lot of people I like. And
Yeah.
a movie that I love and adore. I tried.
You tried.
I really tried. I really tried to like it. It didn't feel like...
We gotta go! It was like all the same.